What is up, guys? Wraec is here with a new video, and today with a bunch of community summons again, but some of those are really insane, I have to say. We're starting off with other madness here by a video that Phil sent me of his summon for SFX. And by the way, because this question rose up quite a lot during the last video, why do people summon SFX? Well, a lot of those videos are from the Amazon server, so people have more of those stones. There are more places available in those events. They go for those, and if they want to have an SFX, then they often already have a DTV, they often already have an LFA, and maybe they just want it for fun. You can do that on the Amazon server, that is entirely possible. So we get to see those beautiful summons here for an SFX, for a Mockman, for a DTV, for something like that. And so don't be confused by that. Starting off, first summon video by Phil. And once again, we have a low roll on the attack. Quite the harsh one, it's pretty much low S tier. Still, one thing, people always treat those copies like they are worthless. And I just don't get it. I mean, like, that's SS tier HP and speed. That's something you just don't usually see on those SS stones. Just don't usually happens. I can imagine that Phil would rather have had that SSS in attack than in HP, though. That is probably true still. He will get a huge attack stat on that, just from those 8,192 attack alone. That is not a small amount at all. And beyond that, for PvP, he has those 95 speed going for him. And 95 speed, that is nothing to joke about at all. So we're really looking at some pretty juicy stuff here. We're really looking at some pretty juicy stats indeed. And I have to say, for me, that is a nice summon. That is a nice summon still. Yeah, it's a low roll attack, but just seeing 2 SSS stats on this hero, that is already something that I would say makes this copy worthwhile. Next up, Mega Fungi, coming back with another video. He was in the last episode as well, so let's check that out as well. Not low at all. Perfect Tenon copy, I would argue. And if you were to buy that in the auction house, not that cheap. It's not like some 8,000-ish starry, and obviously less than it would be if it was A-, but still you can easily earn your 3,000-4,000 starry with that. So definitely a good summon, I would say, and definitely worth showing here on the channel. I would say that's indeed a high roll. High roll, that was something we were arguing about as well. For me, I would say a high roll is also, if that was like a B+ stone, I would still argue that this is a high roll because of this enormous attack, because of this very beautiful stats that we got here. But it was indeed a B stone and not a B+ stone, so we're indeed even on a higher awakening tier than we would have expected. So, great summon by Mega Fungi. Thanks for sending that in. Okay, this summon, of course, by JD. We've seen him on this channel in the last videos quite a few times, always with a tablet, easy to recognize, and this time he got a roll. I mean, like, if you see the meteors, you think like, oh damn, that roll is going to suck. That's going to be quite a bad roll with all of those green meteors. But I would argue that is the one time you are seeing 2 green meteors and you're not mad about it at all. 7,500 attack, A- Vulcan from an A- stone. That is definitely nothing to complain about. We still got a decent amount of speed, 52 I think is that, if I see it correctly. So definitely quite nice. Needs to get a better roast already. Skill damage, precision, holy damage. I guess he's going for the Giant Killer as well. Giant Killer fire skill damage is a nice roll for that. And then he can do some enormous damage in PvP and PvE. For PvP, Many people are looking for a bit more speed, but you got 52 there, so really that is a high roll for an A-. If I ever saw one. 7,500 attack, absolute madness, I would say. And one of the copies when I saw the video, I was definitely the most excited about, and I thought like that is really nice. Don't get too many of those, so A+ core on the Mockman, and you see what you want to see here. You see those stats that you want to see here. Coming up with the S-tier attack. We got it, the S-tier attack. Let's check that out. I zoomed in a little bit blurry. But we got like S-tier attack, 8,346 S-tier attack on the A+ Mockman, 74 speed, 72 on the HP, so a little bit of the low roll on the HP, which is quite beautiful stat distribution. We got decent speed, we got enormous attack, so I guess that copy, that is what you are looking for. A bonus stat-wise, obviously, might need a reroll, probably want that GK on that if you want to go for PvP. That's already okay for PvP, honestly, but if you want that GK on that GK Defier skill damage here as well, quite nice. Also can go for some holy damage or something like that. That is also alright, but that roll in itself, absolutely insane, absolutely enormous roll, and I have to say, I really like it. Next up, Soul with an SS stone on the DTV, and if you guys ever complained about the attack on those heroes and low rolls there, as you can see, nothing to complain here. Absolute enormous roll. We're going into the rerolls now. Let's see about that. So beautiful 9,800 attack. DTV nearly max. I guess he was pretty happy about that. As far as I've known, now he's rerolling. And honestly, skill damage, holy damage, Giant Killer, that's already an enormous roll. Probably just want to replace that CI offset with Defier or like another damage stat, but skill damage is what you want, holy damage is what you want, Giant Killer is what you want. So in reality, this thing already will hit like a truck in PvE and PvP, so that is really already an enormous roll. Skill damage 240%, by the way, quite nice. And the 36% holy damage, of course, also quite good. In regards to S tier or above, quite hard to reroll. Usually 30 hammers on A tier will give you more rerolls that give you a Giant Killer than it would be on S and above. So he won't get too many rolls here, but this is, I think this is the roll he's already sticking with. Oh, he's taking this Giant Killer Defier Precision. And yeah, comparing those two rolls, I have to say I would have stuck with the left side roll. Skill damage, holy damage, Giant Killer, that is a hell of a combination, a hell of a lot of damage. But I can see the appeal, Giant Killer, Defier, big words. And obviously, if you are in that spectrum where Defier is active, then huge damage. In general, precision, skill damage, that is a little bit something to argue about, 32% precision. That just can't compare to 36% holy damage, so holy damage a lot stronger than the precision. Skill damage depends on the part of the attack, but in general, very good stat for the Vulcan. Defier is also pretty strong in the current PvP meta. We are talking about most heroes always have like 100% HP, so we're always hitting with Defier. Amazon is another story though, so Amazon we not really have that value of Defier, so I would have stuck with the left side. Still, that is not that far apart. Those two rolls not that far apart. I would say both pretty similar, so I can support Soul here on going for the right side, and I can say he will have a lot of fun with that roll. And honestly, he has 14 hammers left. If he wants something better, he can still go for it, and next Friday or something, he will get another 30 hammers and he can afford them. So a lot of opportunity for him to reroll that if he wants to. Okay, that video was from Starbit. Starbit just sent me his B-Core, and I thought that is a video that we can show as well, because in my opinion, that is exactly what I was talking about a little while ago. That is a high roll, even though it's the same tier, because we got that B+ attack, we got that B+ speed. Those stats that we are looking for are on another tier. We are looking at high rolls of that specific stats here, and he got a very nice Mockman out of it that I would say is as good as a B tier can get. So if you were ever looking at a B tier that you can use for PvE and PvP that has decent speed, that has decent attack, then this is the copy. This is like a wonderful stat distribution. So I would congratulate him to this beautiful summon that he got there. I would say that is indeed quite nice. Last roll, sadly no video. I would have loved to see that. Danny XPM. And now you're looking at that and you're figuring, okay, which stone was that? And I can tell you guys, it was a B stone. That is a roll from a B stone. And he got an A- Vulcan out of it. But I looked at that and I thought, like, is that even A-? Because, like, look at those stats. It's like 63, it's the A tier speed, it's the A tier on HP, and then those are low roll A tiers. This is the reason this is still an A-. But this is like as high up in stats as an A- can go. So he not only got the 1% chance to get an A- or better from a B stone, which is really just a 1% chance. He also got a high roll A- copy with great speed, with great HP, and 5800 attack. That is not bad at all. So absolute high roll by him. He was happy as well, just sad about not recording it because he honestly didn't expect it, and thought he might end up just getting B copy. But if you have the option on your smartphone, a lot of smartphones actually have some kind of toolkit where you can just click screen record and we'll save a recording, and you can just do that for stuff like that and save those moments where you really high roll, and maybe send them to me if you end up doing like this, or show them to your clanmates, whatever, just so you have the opportunity to show that. Those were all the videos for today. There will be a third episode of this, even in the meantime, after the first episode. A few more people sent me screenshots, sent me videos, and I want to include those in those episodes. So another episode is coming up with even more S tier stuff, with even more A cores. We really got a bunch this time. I was absolutely overwhelmed. And I have to say, quite a lot more huge copies coming up. And I'm quite happy that you guys engage with it and enjoy the videos. So I wish you guys a great week, and we will see us in the next one.